Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I'm a bit stressed out right now. My girlfriend and I are in an immense amount of student debt, and I fear it's creating some burdens on me right now.
Yeah.
No, you and your girlfriend might each have debt, but we don't have debt. We aren't married. So how much debt do you have?
I have $120,000.
And how much debt does she have?
$120,000.
Oof.
And so if we combine this, we got $250,000. How old are you two?
23 years old.
So if you get married, you got a whole world of hurt going on, huh?
Yes.
And that's stressing you out.
Extremely.
Now I'm caught up. What's your question?
She wants to get her master's, and I'll add $50,000 more debt to our student loans.
To her student loans.
To her student loans, yes.
Are you engaged?
No.
Okay.
Maybe she's not the one.
I don't know, Dave.
I do.
What's the degrees in?
I have a master's of architecture. She has a bachelor's of architecture.
Okay.
Why do you need a master's in architecture to be able to be an architect? You don't. You just have to pass the bar.
Exactly.
I used an architect to build this building, which is, I don't know, we've got about $400 million in this project, I guess. I have no idea if any of the architects have a master's. So far, it hadn't fallen down since 2019, so I think we're okay. But we did have certified architects, one of the top architectural firms in the area, but I have no idea if they had masters or not. I didn't ask. Also didn't ask where they went to school. Point being, you don't have to have a master's to be a successful architect. Hello?
That's what I've been trying to tell her, and honestly, it was the wrong choice for me. The only reason I got it is because my undergrad degree, I was debt-free.
I'm not calling you dumb. I'm just forgetting it. I'm just saying you don't have to have it to be successful. And if you don't have to have it to be successful, then and you're already $120,000 in debt, young lady, then young lady, it's not smart to go another $50,000 in debt to get something you don't need to be successful. That's silly.
I agree.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? What caused you to what caused you to be okay with your debt and then suddenly not okay with her debt, I guess is my question.
Because she wants to add more.
Because right now I see us as being on an equal playing field, and we'll be able to get rid of the debt as a team. She does live with me and my parents.
Interesting. Okay. There's a lot of twists and turns in this conversation. No wonder you keep viewing it as ours, because you guys have set up a situation where you're pretending that that is the case. And so that I can understand why you're going along with that. But the truth is you're dating, you're not engaged, you're certainly not married yet. You really don't know what's going to happen on down the road. And if I were in your shoes, I'd be laser focused on what I'm doing with my life and my money going forward. I think that's the best thing you can do.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's where we're coming from. We're being a little bit sarcastic and flippant with your love life here. But the truth is that couples that can agree on the principles of how we're going to handle money going forward, including like the issues of saving, the issues of generosity, the issues of going into debt, the issues that we're going to be on a budget and we're going to tell all our money what to do. We're going to be in agreement on that. We both get a vote. Couples that do that have an unbelievably high probability statistically of making it in their marriage sticking, okay? And so here's some data for you that's very interesting. You've heard this phrase, Gabriel, that 50% of the marriages end in divorce, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's not true, by the way. It's an inaccurate statistic when you actually get into it. Here it gets very weird, okay? If you both graduate from college, if you both make $50,000 a year or more, if both of your parents are still married, which is not something you can control, the other things are things you can control. If you have a 4-year degree, in other words, and you're making money, and both your parents are still married, and you're in agreement on how money's going to be handled, and you're in agreement about religion, and you're in agreement about kids, how many we think we're going to have and how they're going to be treated. Are the inmates going to run the asylum, or are the parents? And how are we going to deal with in-laws? The extended parent problem, and so forth. If you can get an agreement on those 4 things and you graduate from school, and again, you're aligned, which you're not, by the way, okay? But if you're aligned on all of those things and you both graduate from school and you both have good incomes, you have like a 90% probability this marriage is going to work. So you can control the situation you get into. It's not like randomly marriages just end. No, we sign up for stuff that didn't have a chance. So if you get married, if you have babies before you get married, you lower the chance of your marriage lasting statistically. If you have babies before you get out of high school, your statistical probability of making is almost zero. It's almost zero. You can do it. Some people do. There's exceptions you can point to, and that's a wonderful thing that they did make it. But statistically, if you want to design a life that causes your marriage to work, that's not the way you design it.
That's right. That's right.
The data tells you don't do that, okay? So that's what you're facing here, and that's what's giving Jade and I pause, and that's why I jokingly said maybe she's not the one, but it really wasn't that much of a joke, Gabe. So you guys need to sit down and say, all right, are we going to get aligned on this? Because I'm not okay with this. I'm freaking out that we have $250,000 if we get married we have to take, and you're with a wink and a nod going and get a master's degree you don't have to be successful in the architectural field. I'm not okay with that, babe. Now let's talk that through and see how that works, right?
That's right. That's right.
And so, yeah, it's not
the hard part is she's ensconced in the life now. They're living with the parents, and that's the hard part of this whole entire thing is when you intertwine your life like that, and then something like this comes to threaten to derail it. You're more likely to stay in a situation that maybe is not all that you want to, because it's so tangled together. And it's like, well, if I say this, then what happens? Does she move out? Do I move out? And you create.
No, it's her parents. She moves out. That's how that works. But
yeah.
Moms and dads, keep in mind, sometimes when you're trying to do something nice, you create a bigger mess. And these parents, they create a bigger mess. Yeah, I'll just bring her on in.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how that works out. Man. Y'all, this is just.
Let me tell you something, Dave. If I said...
You don't think Sam's going to say that?
If I said, Mom, Dad, can Sam Warshaw come live in the house with us and be my boyfriend? I'd be on the moon. Y'all wouldn't... It'd be unsolved mysteries.
Well, yeah. And we would never have found the body on Sam either.
Man, okay. We'd be off this earth.
You do what? You say what, child?
Oh, off the earth. I'm telling you. No trace. Gone without a trace.
A 48 hours mystery.
I know, Dateline.
That is absolutely no mystery at all.
That's right.
We know what happened.
Yeah. We know what happened. I'm just
you know
blown
why?
away.
You know why? Because he knows the numbers.
Yeah.
Because he's got good. You don't have to know these numbers statistically like I do to have good walking around sense and say this doesn't work. So Gabriel, you got a mess on your hands, buddy. I'm sorry, and your mom and dad added to it by inviting her in there. So you guys, if you all were standalone right now, each of you had an apartment and each of you had a life, you'd be looking at this through a different set of eyes.
That's right.
It would change the whole conversation. That's what they've messed up. They thought they were doing something nice by furnishing housing, and it's cheaper. I mean, the kids can save some money. Yeah, you weren't thinking about all the other unintended consequences of these decisions. So, yeah. Gabriel, if she can't get aligned on this with you, don't go forward, honey. Go ahead and call it now. If you can get aligned, then y'all work through the rest of the crap we just talked about, and you can probably make it. That's what I would tell you. I'm sorry. That's kind of harsh, but
it is.
That is where we
tough.
are. Create your free EveryDollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.